NAPI, first female president of NAPI and the convener and president of WIG. We'll talk about how to join WIG, what WIG is about. I will introduce Benga. Benga will do his thing, we'll wrap up, and we will have an appreciation by our own NAPI president. So this is a unique event. If you think about it, the first and second NAPI female presidents are here. So it's a morale booster, if you ask me, for most female that are in the oil and gas industry. So I would like to see on to Victoria. Can you confirm that Victoria is online?
Yes, please. Good evening.
Great. Good evening, Victoria. Over to you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. On our safety moment today, this moment, we're going to be talking about security, insecurity in our country. With the growing concern about security globally and in my country in particular, it has become imperative that we take security into our hands. I'll be sharing a few tips that you may find helpful if you do not already know or if you've not started applying them. One on my list is knowing your environment. This is very important. I know that most of us are working from home and we hardly drive around to know our neighbors or know the happenings around us. It's important that you do. Even when you step out to get your grocery shopping done, or you just need to go to the gym or something, it's important that you take note of happenings around your neighborhood. And here's why. If you know nothing about what's happening to you around you, when something really goes bad happens, you would have no idea, and you do not want to fall in that space. Now, unless if it's absolutely necessary, you need not travel. Gone are the days where you just want to take off and without even telling anyone and come back just when you want to. When it's not necessary, please do not attempt to do that. And as a result of that, if you must even make such trips, kindly let your inner family alone know. Limit such information to the world. I see most people on social media capturing something loading, that loading, this over there, at the beach hanging out. You need not pass out such information. Leave a low profile, keep it low, stay on the low, it's for your own good. And be mindful of those you hang around with, even when you step out at all. Now, gone are the days also where you would wear your company's logo t-shirt. Hey, I work for Shell, or hey, I'm with Exxon or Chevron. You want to just play low, avoid all of that because it attracts the unnecessary around you. And like I mentioned before, please stay vigilant. Try to know your security outfit around your community, around your neighborhood. If you trust them well enough, you want to get their contact just in case. And yes, we're all on social media. Maintain that. Listen to the news, even when it's all bad news. Sometimes we just pick and choose the ones that are important, especially when it has to do with security. And as you pick and choose such information, do not fail to share that with your family members. And also, and of course, you want to keep your emergency contact very handy and share that even amongst your family. So just in case of anything, at least you would know where and who to call. You could have them pasted somewhere in the house where everybody can easily access. If you have all of these tips handy and you make use of them, I'm sure with God on your side, through prayers, you'll be all right. Thank you. Over to you now, Onifade.
All right, thank you very much, Vicky. And Vicky is the Assistant Editor-in-Chief of NAPI, and she also heads the LEARN group of WIG. So Madam Doja, if you noticed, I didn't try to do any welcome, Professor Deborah and all that, because it's below, my pay grade is way below that. So I'm leaving that up to you to do all the welcome. And I'm just going to stand on your existing protocols when you finish. So Madam Doja, over to you for the opening remark. Is she in? So can you confirm? I know I saw her. So just confirm if she's in.
Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am. Good evening.
I can hear you too.
I can hear you, ma'am.
My sincere apologies for not being on. I was having some connectivity issues. Two person, please, can I see the slide? Hello? I'm sorry, I can't see the slides.
I think the PS is having connection issues as well.
Oh, okay, all right. So I'll just, if you don't mind, I'll just say a very big welcome to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. This is our first personal development interaction for this year. I'm so sorry that there are some distractions, and I'm using my phone, so apologies, please. I wanted to say a little bit about WIG, but unfortunately or fortunately, those slides are on Tubosu's screen. So if you don't mind giving me just 1 second, I'll try to retrieve the data from my, okay, Tubosu is online, thank you. Tubosu, please, do you mind going to our, okay, thank you. So thank you so much for joining us. The previous slide, please, Tubosu. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your joining us, and apologies for the little distractions at the beginning. I must apologize because, again, I am not where I intended to be at the beginning of this seminar. So we'd like to start, and thank you, Victoria, for the safety moment, and Tubosu, thank you so much for the facilitation. We're very grateful to Mr. Onifade for joining us today, and I'm sure that we're all going to learn a lot. I have a pen and a pad, and looking at retirement and things, personal finance and personal finance management is definitely a topic that is very dear to my heart, and something that I know that it is never too late to start, according to what they say. And for those who can start now, that's even better. So I'm going to leave the introductions to Mr. Onifade to Tubosun, but just a little bit about WIG. We started in 2011, where this is our 10th year. And it actually just began as a roundtable and some discussions about personal development, women in the workforce. And now it is a more formal platform for development. It's a network for both students and professionals, females, of course, in the geoscience field and in the engineering field. Our motto is to learn, inspire, and connect. And we're just here to encourage and support our profession, our professionals to be good leaders, where it's not just about networking and career development, but also advocacy for women in leadership, mentoring and training and empowerment so that we can grow the essential skills that we need. Next slide, please. So we have a structure of 5 teams, and each team has a specific responsibility. The Connect Week organizes the November summit and would hope that you will all join us in November. We also have activities for catching people, the young and the upcoming. That's our Inspire Week. We have our Learn Week, which promotes technical activities, field trips, presentations, and anything technical. Then we have the Fun Week. And when we say the Fun Week, is not all about, going out and having fun or partying, but it's just the lighter end of things, our corporate social responsibilities, sponsorship, scholarship, strategy sessions. This personal finance management webinar is a brainchild of the Fun Week team. So we learn a lot while having fun. Of course, there's the Digital Week, and the Digital Week is the next level thinking and everything about week in the digital space. We've had a lot of interactions with a lot of very important people. I'm not going to go into names, but one of it's our focus to bring people who can add a lot of value to our lives. Next slide, please. So for this year, we have some plans, and some of them we've already actualized. We did the International Women's Day webinar. We are doing training events. There was a machine learning event, machine learning and artificial intelligence in April. This is one of them, this career and personal finance webinar. And we have one coming up on the 2nd of June, and I'm sure Tubosun is going to tell us a little bit more about that as we go along. So please, it's a great thing to be a member of WIG, to associate with WIG, and we welcome men as well, because there's no barrier to learning. But there are many things that we've got online and we've got plans. So you're welcome to join us. Thank you very much. At the end of the event, we will we'll share our contact information. Thank you. Tubosun, I'm going to hand it over to you now to introduce the speaker. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, thank you very much. You've made the job very easy. So we are 20 minutes about into the session. So I'm just going to go ahead and call Benga up. Benga, can we have your video up, please?
I did have it on before.
Great.
It was switched off, but yeah, here I am. Can you see me? But you want me to pull the curtain?
Pull the curtain because of the reflections. But I hope it wouldn't get too dark.
No, no,
it's a lot better. It's okay. It's good. Okay. So let me talk a bit about Benga. I know I've mentioned that he's the teacher's teacher, but Benga actually is the founder of the Wealth Hackers, and he offers in-depth training, workshops, program around portfolio management and stock advisory services. And he does this on an international level, right? So one of the things I also like to mention around him is that he has built a community of people who not only manage their wealth properly, are in a position to teach others to manage their wealth. So Big Benga to us is for him to share without boundaries. Benga, I hope I'm correct, is to
Absolutely.
share without boundaries all that we need to make our retirement or our post-work life very comfortable for ourselves. But beyond that, I've come to terms with wealth creation is not even making money. even understanding the basic of what do you have in your hand and what can you do with it. So WIG as a team is also thinking of exploring that space. So we are keen to hear you for our personal life and also for our organizational life. Before I bring you up here, I have 1 minute. I'd like that to just quickly introduce Mrs. Patochohu. She's on the call and she's NAPI president. I just wanted to do that before we get you to come speak bigger. Trust of our conversation will be beyond stock, real estate, cryptocurrency, bond, partnership, personal investment, and a lot more. So I know that a lot more is boundaryless. So I'm opening that to Benga. We are also hoping that based on what you get out of this conversation, maybe we'll propose a mentoring club or maybe further courses on investment and trading, but totally up to us to decide. So Benga, over to you and welcome to WIG.
Thank you to us, finally. Okay, good to meet you, everybody. So I'm just going to share my screen as well, I believe. So we can, yes. Okay, and so I do have quite a fair number of slides to share, but I am conscious of time, so I will run through and breeze through this as fast as I can. So my name is Benga Onifade, as many of you know now, and a little bit about me. So I came to the UK 23 years ago now. I started off in engineering like yourselves. I did engineering degree, did a master's, I did another master's, and went on to do another PhD. So, I did the first degree and then another one and another one and another one. And then I got a job and then the money wasn't enough. And then I got another job and then I got another job. So it was, at some point I was doing 3 jobs a day. But I realized that that's not the way to build wealth for me. So I read a book called Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun? And it was about the guy called Reginald Lewis, who's dead now, unfortunately. And in his book, he talked about how he was a lawyer and he spoke to his mentor who told him, oh, if you become a lawyer, you're going to make lots of money. But then when he spoke to his mentor, he told his mentor that now I'm a lawyer, but I'm still not making a lot of money. So his mentor told him, well, you are in criminal law. If you want to make money, you need to be where the money is. So you went to you switched into corporate law, and he became the wealthiest Black man in America at that time. Unfortunately, it passed on now. Feel free to read about him, Reginald Lewis, and the book is called Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun? Okay, and of course, my mentor usually tells me to build wealth, you need to study wealth. To become happy, study happiness. Literally, very simple. Okay, and so last year I founded the group called the Wealth Hackers. It's actually a registered company in Nigeria, which is good, under Mind Wealth, but we trade under the name the Wealth Hackers because Nigeria would not accept the name Wealth Hackers. They thought, what do you mean hacking? We're not going to associate ourselves with hacking. There you go. So anyway, so I'm going to be literally, I've just summarized this in a very short means. The things I'm going to be talking about. Number 1, how to build wealth. And then I'm going to go into the philosophy, the wealth creation ways, and what is possible in this whole realm. Okay, so a few questions some of you tend to ask me well in advance. Not this group is only, but everybody tends to ask me. It's in the last 10 months since I started the Wealth Hackers, I have trained officially more than 1,500 people. I've created a community. It's on Telegram. We have about 3,000 people there, human beings, of course. And we do have a mentoring program. I have more than 400 or 500 people in the mentoring program, all learning about the stock market, cryptocurrencies, getting market insights from me, of course. So a few questions is, but Nigeria has banned cryptocurrency. Can I still do it? What type of stocks or coins can I invest in? When I say coins, I'm talking about cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency assets are known as coins, the same way in the stock markets, they're known as stocks, all right? Okay, how do I start investing in cryptocurrency and the stocks itself? how do I know what stocks or coins to buy? So a lot of these things are going to be answered. And of course, I will give you time to ask me your questions as well. How do I monitor and benefit from the fluctuations in the stock market? I am working full time. Is this thing for me? How do I perform analysis? You know, kind of these things. I will be talking about them. And if I'm going too fast, tell me to pipe down. I get really passionate about this. But before we start, I'm just going to quickly tell you a quick story about a priest. Okay, he wanted to have a crusade in the church, and you know, prepared all year round for the crusade, and distributed flyers, had radio programs, etc., drums. You know the way we are in Nigeria when we want to advertise for a crusade, do the road show, etc., TV advertisement, billboards, and on the day of the crusade, which is meant to start at 11. So he was there early. 4 o'clock, nobody showed up. 5, 6, 7, up to 11, no one showed up. And he thought, wow, I spent a lot of money and no one still showed up. 12 a.m., 1, 2 a.m. night, no one showed up. This is someone who spent a lot of money. And then just about 2:30 a.m., this Fulani cattle herder came in through, and he tied his cow, and he said, oh my God, I spent a lot. You know, the priest walked to him and said, oh my God, thank you. I spent a lot of money, but nobody showed up. So this Fulani guy told him, or should I call him a cowboy? He said, well, if I want to feed my cattle, and if only one show up, I'll feed him. And the priest thought, that's true. I'm going to feed you then. And he started preaching, and he was sweating and, you know, casting all demons and everything. And guess what happened? He did it for about 3 hours, and he went to the Fulani guy and said, oh, so how did that go? And the guy told him, well, you know, I'm not a preacher, but I said, if I want to feed my cattle and if only one shows up, I said, I'll feed it. He said, yes, yes, yes. He said, even though I said I'm going to feed him, but I'm not going to dump the whole load on him. And that's the joke. I hope it makes sense. Anyway, so I know you guys are muted. I hope it's funny enough. All I'm trying to say is I will teach you all I can do, but I'm not going to dump the whole load on you guys. So please, my mentor usually told me, find out all you can do, but don't do all you can find out, because you cannot do it all. Okay, so how do you achieve success in this place? So some of these things is about cryptocurrency. How do you achieve it? For example, I'm going to talk about the principles, understanding the basic principles. This is not just in crypto, literally everything, okay? Manage your assets well, understand the basic principles, find a strategy that works, even though I use this for cryptocurrency, but this applies to everything, real estate, investment, bond. Understand the fundamentals. We have to understand that fundamentals don't change. Everything is the same, okay? Keep learning, sharpen your skills. Okay, now I'm gonna ask you guys a question. I know you guys are muted, but if one person can answer me, I wouldn't mind. So what's the most important thing after oxygen? Somebody should tell me. Just somebody should tell me. I'm waiting. Feel free to type it. Did you type it? Okay, someone typed it. Blood, water, food, health. I think it's money. I think it's money. You cannot get none of this without money. Yes, sunlight is available, but it's money. Wow, Victoria, thank you, Victoria. You actually wrote it the same way I wrote it. And I'm just gonna, so give me a second. Just gonna stop sharing so I can reveal the answer quickly. And bear with me. Right, let me share my screen again. So guys, the most important thing after oxygen is money. People say money is not important. Money is important. Money is not important, but it ranks high there with oxygen. That's what my mentor used to tell me. So water is free when you live by the river or ocean. And even from oxygen, you can make water, correct? Well done. So it's money, guys. So we're going to go through. I've got quite a lot of slides to share, but I'm not going to overburden you. So you might see me going a bit too fast sometimes, but feel free to tell me if you don't get anything at all to come back. Now, let's go. And I will try and keep this to a good 30 minutes, okay? So I'm time conscious for your sake as well, okay? So I want you to ponder a few things. Are you wealthy or not, okay? What does security mean to you? Security whereby you can build a nest around your family that nothing can get through, around yourself, around your family, around your future. Back in the days, we used to invest we used to say, I'm investing for my children, but right now you are investing for the next 3, 4, 5 generations, okay? Few Black people, last year when coronavirus hit, I made the most money I've ever made in my life last year, because when we had the coronavirus, the whole market just plunged. And I remember putting the money I had in, and it just, it doubled 3, 4, 5 times within 3 months. It was just crazy year. Last year I made the most money I've ever made last year. And I saw an article which says very few Black families will benefit from the historic stock market rally. The market rallied excessively last year. And I thought, wow, okay, this is what made me create the Wealth Hackers, or start the Wealth Hackers. And that's the article that I will share in the chat box at some point today. So if anybody wants to go read up on it, okay? So now I'm gonna ask you guys another question, okay? Do you think it's possible for you to multiply your wealth by 10 this time next year? It doesn't matter. Do you think it's possible to multiply your wealth by 10? Let me just read the chat, because I know you guys are responding. Do you think it's more possible to multiply your wealth by 10? Okay, well done, Ojelabi. By 10 again, do you think it's possible? I'm not seeing much responses. So the first time I said, do you think it's possible to multiply by 10? You said yes. Do you think it's possible to multiply by 10 again? Victoria said relatively. How about by 10 again, the third time? Don't worry, I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm just asking a normal question. And if you think it's a no, of course, Henry Ford said, whoever says it's possible or not, you are both right. Absolutely. Because when Henry Ford started the Ford vehicle, then the whole world, what were we doing? They were riding horses. I wasn't around then. And people thought, no, cars, this is going to be for the select few. And he said, whether you think it's possible or not, you are both right. And guess what? We all buy cars now. And even some people choose not to buy a car, not because we cannot afford it. So it is possible, guys. And this is not me trying to motivate you. It's just possible. But we need a bit of motivation. So here, some of the things are some common investment types, and I've got to relate it with you, especially Nigerians. So number one, think about this. We've got gold. Gold is based on fear and hope, okay? And it's just literally betting. That's what you're doing. It's based on betting. That's the key takeaway when it comes to gold. Gold is, we have unlimited supply of gold, and you're betting on the price of gold is going to go up. Guys, one thing I teach my mentees is that gold is not an investment. It's just a metal. You can tell me you disagree, but let me just quickly ask you guys here. Can you tell me one use of gold, guys? One use of gold. If anybody can tell me, okay? And please don't tell me jewelry, because that's not a use. You don't need to win a lottery. No, there's so many ways to do this, okay? So anyway, I'm just gonna tell you, gold has no use, zero. It's just another metal traded based on commodity. It's a store of value. That doesn't make it a use. So we just we use it as store of value, okay? I'm not gonna go through the history of money and how we got to gold, but we're gonna move on beyond that. I'm gonna touch on it later, okay? Now we've got bond and securities. It's a store of value, you got it right. But remember, it goes up or down. Again, bonds and securities, another one. It's based on inflation. Oh, I talked about it again at the bottom there. It's based on safety. People think it's safe. Let me buy a fixed bond, okay? But what do you do with bond? Think about it. You've got 4 to 6%. What's inflation in Nigeria right now? Let's go with a conservative 24%. So you are not even beating inflation, okay? That's the key takeaway. The minute your bond interest rate is not as great as the inflation, then it's bad. It's bad for you. In fact, I was laughing. I saw a popular person online teaching about bond. I'm thinking, bond in 2021? No way. Okay, you got real estate. That's a traditional means of investment. Great, but it's got a high barrier to entry, and that's the difficulty about real estate. So I'm not going to go against real estate. I think it's a great point, but I'm going to touch on it again. The money market. People who invest in the money markets, they're scared. We call them pigs, okay? You know, in the stock market, there's something they say, the bears make money. The bears are people who think the market's going to be surging forward. The bull will make money. People who think the market's going to go down. And then the pigs get slaughtered. So if you're putting your money in the money market right now, you are what we call a pig. Okay. I'm called the chicken as well. The chicken are the people who just put the money under the mattress. They don't even want to invest at all. They're afraid. But don't be a pig. Don't be a chicken, because pigs get slaughtered. Chicken don't even exist at all. Okay, then you're talking about agro investments. In fact, I think I'm the only one that I'm always, I'm not against it. I just think, I don't see it as the safest, okay, agro-tech investments. And think about it, you're investing in Naira, you're getting a Naira return. You're not thinking about the currency devaluation, number one, and number two, you're not thinking about inflation. And remember, not even all of them get paid. What do they say? It's the minute you cannot sleep at night is not a safe investment. But that's just me. And I'm not saying all of them are bad. But the minute you start thinking, so everything comes with the risk. But the fact that I'm getting my returns in Naira, I think it's bad. I don't do it. So, but that's the downside of it as well for me. And then you got treasury bills. Again, you can't really beat inflation. What's the rate of return anyway? So it's very fixed and it's not great. So no, so these are some of the things I'm looking at, but I'm going to move on. Now, there are different paths to wealth. How many routes are there to wealth? Multiple. And I've just said this is equal to working a 9 to 5 or investments, or even the latter one, get a gun, you know, and robbery. You know, we know some people steal by the pen, but there you go. None of this is okay. So it's up to you what you want to pick, but for me, I pick the investment side, okay? So for me, I think I'm going to be talking about investment in stocks and digital assets, which is the basis of today's presentation. I hope I haven't left anyone behind so far. Fantastic. Okay, so a few notable names out there. If you want to talk about Jeff Bezos, how he created his wealth, guys, when they say Jeff Bezos is worth 200 billion, doesn't mean he has 200 billion in the bank account. He's got that money in stocks. That's it. And that's the amount is, you know, his worth, his stock market is worth. So Jeff Bezos owns about 30% share of Amazon. One Amazon share is about $3,500. So Jeff Bezos, ultimately, if he owns 30% of the whole of Amazon stocks, which is in millions or billions rather, then, you know, you expect him to be multi-billionaire. A few of them, Larry Ellison, Warren Buffett, you know, who invested in stocks. And there's statistically, the stock market is the biggest wealth creating engine ever. Real estate has never beaten it. Crypto is just coming into the arena right now. It's still coming to acceptability. So, but we will explore it more over time. So there's a few philosophies to wealth that my mentor used to teach me. And number one is that the philosophy of the government. What's that? You wait for the government to increase the minimum wage. I know Nigeria's got minimum wage. You're going to protest. We know go agree, da. But guess what happens? They would only pay you so much and they will tell you cannot afford it. I followed the Nigerians presidential election 2 years ago. And I remember one of the candidates who said, oh, minimum wage, I'm going to make 100,000 naira. And even people who love him, they told him, guy, we cannot even afford it as Nigerians. So I thought, okay, then there's a philosophy of the company. Many of you are oil workers. You're going to go to your company and what do you do? I want them to pay me more. So let me just keep working. In 2 years' time, I'm going to be the group manager. In another 2 years, I'm going to be this. But the company, they're never going to pay you. They can only pay you so much until you die. So which still means your payment has got a ceiling. It's a philosophy of the many. Okay, what do we do? Here, Gloria will call Tubosun, and Tubosun will call Dollar, and all of you go out with your friends and you protest for more wages. But what happens? They will only increase your wage so much, but you will never get wealthy as a result of that. There's now the philosophy of self. I'm going to keep taking this course. You want to be like me, right? You want to get the degree and you want to get the master's, another master's, another PhD. But guess what? You will just overwork yourself to the bone. And finally, there's a philosophy of demand. And I did ask you a few minutes ago, I said, you need to develop yourself so much and demand of yourself so much that you can multiply your income by 10 again, and by 10 again, that you're able to grow your wealth to comfortable points in your life that your children will never lack again, because you can build generational wealth that will last your generation a lifetime. Isn't that a pro? I'm blushing there. So my mentor used to tell me to learn to work harder on myself than I work on my job, because self-education will make me a living. Formal education will make me a living, but self-education will make me a fortune. Okay, remember, if you work harder on your job, you make a living. And if you work harder on yourself, you make a fortune. So it's all about self. I know I haven't really dived into these things, but that's just the way I am. And this is what's it called? You don't need to give me an answer. This is rhetorical, by the way. So you've got to think about yourself. Which sector do you belong in? I'm a novice, but I would like to get started in investment. I think I have a basic knowledge, but I'm yet to invest. I already started investing, but I'm looking to learning from it. I'm just here for the ride. Yeah, NAP, you've called me here. Let me just hear what this young man has got to say. He's got a sweet mouth. But there you go. You're here for one reason. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys one question. This is very simple, okay? We've got a few rules here to strike gold. The stock markets here is worth about 30.5 trillion approximately. 30.5 trillion. It's worth more now. This data is from 2018. How much? So, and we have about 7.5 billion people in the world, okay? So let me ask you a question. If they divide all this wealth among all of us in the world, how much do you think each person will get? Just roughly, you don't need to do the maths. I know you guys are engineers. How much do you think each of us will get if they divide all the money in the world? Yeah, let's just look at the stock market, America alone. If they divide it by everybody, how much do you think we will get? Each of us. I want to see your answer. Don't do the mental calculation. Just think, all the money in this world, if they divide it equally, let's see how much will be my portion. How much do you think your portion will be? Don't do the maths, guys. Don't do the maths. Just think how much you think your portion will be. I can't see your answer. Don't be afraid. Type it, type it. How much you think each of us will get if they divide all the money in the world? Okay, nobody's typing. Can I see a thumbs up that you can still hear me though?
We hear you, Benga. Well, I hear you.
Fantastic. Okay. Somebody put the answer in yen. Anyway, each of us will get $400,000 if they divide all the money in this world. Somebody said percentage. I want a value. So each of us will get $400,000 each. Okay. Now let me ask you, how much are you getting from this world equities market today, this year? How much are you getting? I'm going to ask you guys. A lot of you are watching me on your iPhones, on your Zoom. How many of you are getting paid by Apple? How many of you is getting paid by Zoom? Many of you went on Google, I guess, when they probably searched my name. How many of you got paid by Google today? Yeah, many of you using Microsoft Office. How many of you got paid by Microsoft? That's one thing for you to start thinking about. Okay, wonderful. So that's just a rhetorical question. So a few rules to succeed. The rules of striking gold in the stock games is very simple. Plan, patience, and have a long-term mindset. Very simple. Now, let me move to crypto. Look at the crypto market capitalization. When we say market capitalization, that's what the crypto market is worth. All right. Now, this is only a few months ago. The crypto market was about what? This amount. Now it was worth 1 trillion. I can't remember what month this was. The crypto market's about 1.5 trillion right now. Okay, but earlier in the year, the crypto market hit $1 trillion in terms of worth. Okay, now, which means it's growing. If you go back, can you see this? It literally went from 0.2 within how many months? Thank God I can do this. Can you see I mean, you guys are engineers. From this up to this point, within September to May, where we are right now. Well, it's not May actually, because this was early in the year, about February. Okay, guys. So 5 months, the markets went 500 billion. It gained 500 billion naira, dollars extra. So if you're not in this space, think again. Let's move on. Now, there's so many ways to make money. Number one, you could earn passive income from your crypto. Don't worry too much about these terminologies, okay? Please don't worry too much about the terminologies. One of them is called peer-to-peer lending. It's not just Bitcoin. I can lend, if I have Bitcoin, for example, I can lend it out and use it to buy other coins, investments. You will be surprised. I've got a few of my coins that pays me every day. We're gonna go into that. Another one is called staking. You might think, oh, I'm too busy. Just buy a certain crypto. Crypto is now assets, cryptocurrency, okay? It's now an asset. You buy it and you do nothing with it. And it just keeps earning daily profit. You do nothing. Believe me, guys, I'm not even making it up. Another one is called yield farming. Okay, there's so many ways. So yield farming, it rewards you if you have the coin. So you're using that coin because there's some lesser coins, okay? So you need your coin to grow these lesser coins. There's so many ways to do it. I'm not going to go into the technicalities of it right now because this is just a webinar. Okay, so you just lock up your cryptocurrency and you get the reward. And guys, yes, you will turn this to real dollars, real money. The money can buy something in Port Harcourt where most of you are based. So this is not audio money, real money, guys. Okay, now in the stock market, how do you make money? What would you realize? Number one, you could make money through price appreciation. You buy a stock, it goes up, simple, nothing more. Or dividend. Dividend is the company makes a profit and they reward you for having confidence in them to hold their stocks. It could be monthly, be quarterly, biannually, or even annually. I get paid or rewarded in dividend. I've got some stocks that give me monthly benefits of payments, annually, quarterly. Okay, so this is two ways to make money in crypto and stuff. But crypto's got way more ways to make money as well. It's a new space that's still growing. Let's think about an example when we're talking about price appreciation. Price appreciation, let's just say there's a shortage of rice due to harvest season. What do you expect the price of rice to do? Demand and supply, it's going to go up. Again, if Nigeria is importing rice, flooding rice with Chinese rice, flooding the country with cheap rice, what's going to happen? It's going to crash the price of rice, okay? Or think about Philippines. There's a population boom. People start having children. Again, rice is going to go up. There's demand. And then rice is reported to cause weight gain. People say, oh, the minute you eat rice, you're going to be gaining weight. People are going to lose confidence in rice. It's going to go down. That's price appreciation. Similar to ABC Construction Company here. If they win a contract, it goes up. They're making a lot of money. The price of their stock is going to go up. But if price of cement increase, these guys are construction companies, it's going to affect their prices, okay? It's going to go down. Or if there's a construction is halted due to an audit failing or finding, they found out that the accountant's been making some money from the company, it's going to go down. Of course, it's going to affect confidence negatively. So how do you invest? Stocks or cryptocurrency? Very simple. Invest in quality businesses. Remember, these companies they got real human beings working there, brick and mortar. Everything you touch, guys, it's got a real human being. In this world, it's got a real human being there, and they are funded by somebody. Okay, if not me, maybe you or maybe your friends. So I call it GEMS, the acronym. Great industry, earnings growth, which is growing year on year. They've got the management's got credibility, superior products and services, strong balance sheet. Some of you are with Shell, Chevron, for example. If I ask you now, would you work with Mobolaji, something, Dada, and Co? You're going to say, no, because you've heard of Shell, you've heard of the reputation, etc., etc. I'm not going to talk about the internal politics. I'm not with Shell. Okay, there's what we call growth investing. How do you invest in a growth way? To grow successful investing, you need the knowledge, you need the patience, and you need the discipline, okay? The easiest way to go broke in the stock market is to try to go broke in the stock market. How? You're trying to get rich in a very short time frame. Guys, I do not promise a short, fast wealth building. A friend of mine invested in this is in crypto actually, 3 days ago, $2,500. Overnight, it went to $36,000. But that's different. It happens in stocks as well. But at the same time, I'm not going to guarantee that to people because I believe in growing your wealth gradually. Good things happen in this space. However, just be patient and believe that it will grow and focus on the fundamentals. If you hit it big, great. If you don't, sometimes be patient and just focus and work on your growth. Again, so speaking of growth investing, buy a company for less than it's worth. If you find a company, find how much it's worth, buy it for less than it's worth, boom, you're on to a winner. Buy it at a fair company. I've heard people say, oh, if you use iPhone, just invest in Apple. No, that's not the rule to investing. It's so simple, but you're doing it wrong. The company is doing a sell-off. If the market is crashed, don't worry about it. Just hold your faith. As long as you've done your research, they call it due diligence, DD. Look at the competitive risk. Oh, there's another company that's going to knock out Amazon right now. Don't worry. Stick to your guns. Oh, this company is not even growing, but the stock is not going, but they keep making money year on year on their finance sheets. Do not worry. Stay true. Okay? Invest at reasonable price. Look at some of these companies. For example, this is company ABC, DEF, GHI. Okay? And they're selling their stock 80 Naira per share. This one is selling 100 Naira per share. This one is selling 6 Naira per share. But the price is 100 Naira. Sorry, it's 10 Naira here. Here is 100 Naira. Here is 48 Naira. Which of them do you think is the cheapest? Okay, so you got company A, B, and C. Oh, sorry, company left, middle, and right. So the fair value, you think is only fair. This company is only fair at 6 Naira, but it's advertised at 10 Naira per share. Okay, this is 100 Naira per share. It's advertised at 100 Naira. It's fair value. You've done a bit of calculation. You think this stock is only worth 80 Naira, but it's advertised at 48 Naira. Guys, have a chat. Which one do you think is fair? Company ABC is the cheapest, DEF or GHI? GHI, absolutely, well done. Guys, if you know this, bye-bye. That's the simplest thing, but it's not that easy because that's the simplest way to build wealth. You buy a company for less than it's worth. Simple. But doing that, there's a lot more to it. Okay, buy something for less than it's worth. I don't know if many of you go to the market, Mama tells you this Gary is 200 Naira, but if Mama take 50 Naira, because you think it's worth 50 Naira, that's why. Okay, well done, guys. Now, another rule, you want to create a diverse portfolio. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Yes, real estate might not be given as great returns as the stock market, but of course, you still want to have it in your portfolio. You want to have some pieces of art in your portfolio. You want to have, have a few things in your portfolio, and that's how you build wealth. Don't just put everything in just one stock, or even if you get into the stock market, don't put everything in just one stock, okay? Another one is what we call here. This is a mutual fund. I am actually very anti-mutual fund right now because I'm a DIY investor. I believe people should be able to do it yourself, which is one thing I do. I train you to be able to DIY your investment, do it yourself, because otherwise you have to get a professional to manage your fund. It pulls people's money together and it gets a certain price, a certain amount. And I tell people that, and this is not just me, once they do 20% a year, they look as being great. I've been able to get better returns for me and for my team. So I am actually grateful to God and to myself that we've been doing great and greater things are happening in our zone. But if you learn to master your investment, you will be able to trade to suit your personality and you'll be able to get better results than these guys out there. They're not better than you. Everything you need is out there. As long as you can have the right team, the right knowledge, then you're good. Again, another one is an index fund. Some of you are very busy. There's what we call the index fund. So you just have the markets pull, it pulls a few stocks together and you can invest in everything as one. So for example, the most common one is the S&P 500, which is the top 500 biggest companies in America, according to the market capitalization, market cap we call it. Okay, so you could buy that as one stock, which literally means you've got exposure to all the different sectors in the market. Okay, so I've got S&P 500 stocks, for example, and I just buy that. That just means all the biggest 500 companies in America, I'm invested in them. That's another way. That's never failed anybody. And you get the odd 8 to 12% return every year plus dividend every quarter. That's another way to invest in the stock market. Another thing is people say, oh, but the stock market tends to go down sometimes. Yes, of course it does, but you've got to invest regularly and have a plan. So what I tell people is that there's what I call frog. Have a fixed amount to be invested daily if you think you're a 9-to-5 person. Invest regularly, invest over a long time, and good quality stocks and mutual as well. If you've got pick good quality ones. Look at an example here. I'm not going to ask you this because it's quite straightforward. So think about this first month. This pen is only worth 200 naira. You bought 2, 50 naira. You bought 2. Second month, you bought 1. Third month, you bought 1 again at 70 naira. But look at your aggregates. The aggregate. So you got 250 pence at 4. You got 4 pence at 250. But let's have a look. Look at this average here. So you invest when it's up, it's down. You don't care. You just invest in gradually. But guess what happens? Your average price will be 62 naira 50 kobo. So which means you bought less when it's expensive, and you bought less when it's expensive, and when it's cheap, you bought more, and that's what we do. Okay. Now, one thing I've got to say is that never get emotional, okay? You've got to be very logical and analytical. An emotional investor will not succeed in the market. No, you've got to be as mechanical as possible. Of course, we're human beings. It's very difficult for us not to be emotional, okay? Now, one thing people talk about all the time, oh, the stock markets always crash. Guess what? That's what we pray for. Let it go down so we can buy more. But okay, I'm going to go through the stock markets and the economy in a minute. For you to retire comfortably, though, a few things. Stay invested as long as you possibly can. No matter how bad the crashes have been, remember the market has always rebounded. We're going to go through a few history. Build a portfolio that will suit your risk profile. Okay, stay the course, build a portfolio that's going to suit you personally. I say build something that's going to suit your personality. Design a strategy. Stick with it, please. There's always another day, even when you have a bad day. Find out what you should invest in. Have a time horizon. Do it for the long haul. What's your investment philosophy? If you don't have one, please have a philosophy. And what will you do if the market falls significantly and your portfolio falls with it? Hold on and be patient. Now, let's look at this something here. Look at the stock market crash. Some of us were not born around this time, but we can see a few things on a logarithm scale, which means I've compressed the scale. Sorry. Look, during the Depression, can you see the markets? And what happened? It went back down. It went back up. Silver agitation, yeah, the outbreak of the Boer War, the rich man's panic. I mean, different things. World War I, influenza, it was flat for a while. But guess what? The markets has always rebounded. And I'm going to show you something else more. Again, look at this again. These formats. 1985, we had a collapse of the USSR. The world market was against it. But then it went up again. The dot-com bubble, when people didn't know how to make money from the internet, guess what happened again? The market crashed and it rebounded. Oh, now, coronavirus. What do you think is going to happen to the market right now? Again, it's going to rebound. So the markets has always rebounded. The world is moving on. We keep growing. Look at the crypto markets again. 2001, it went high and it went low. And then it's gone high and low and high and low. But what do you think is going to happen? It will always. So what it does is it actually, it repeats this cycle. But each cycle, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And look at the market here, it hits here. And then we had a really downturn. But I'm going to show you a bit more. And this is 2001 again. So as you can see, this cycle gets repeated, which shows that this is where we are right now. So I'm expecting us to hit high at some point. Now, look, the crypto markets versus the economy again. Look at the crypto market, Bitcoin. People did not believe in Bitcoin at this point. So I'm just using Bitcoin as a reference phrase. There's a lot more coins. But look at where we are right now. One Bitcoin is about $40,000 now today. And look at the history again. We've always had bad news, comes down, up and down, up. So it's just stay the course with a headache. So this is where we started. If I'm just going to make this point, but look at where we are right now. So had it been that you were able to stay the course? Look at that, 2010, 2020, only 2017. I've still got some stuff, some clothes that I wear from 2010. You believe it or not? Why? Because they still fit. So that's all I'm trying to say. Stay the course. Don't be afraid. You know, if you want to build wealth, just be patient. The market's making progress. Now, there's what they call the FUD: fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Okay. Remember, I keep saying market crashes are normal. You don't need to read this. I just decided to show you this. That look at all the bad examples we've been seeing, bad news. But all the time, what's the market's been doing? It's been going on, and and what do you expect to do? It's gonna keep making. They call this higher highs. That's what we call it in the market. The market has always been making progress. It would always make progress. Forget it. The world is not coming to an end. Patience and stay the course. And that's what happens, okay? So fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So they create a propaganda tactic so you can get rid of your assets, okay? They put fear in you, manipulate the market, and eventually the markets will move on. But if you get rid of your assets, they buy it for cheap. So don't sell it to people for cheap if you have it. But that's just some of the things I'm trying to show you. Okay, there's something here I'm going to tell you. You need to understand the difference between the business cycle and the market cycle. So don't worry, we're almost done. We started a bit late as well, but I hope I'm not going too fast. Let me just say a thumbs up, a chat if I'm not going too fast. If I'm carrying everybody along, let me see your comments, please, everybody. If I haven't left anybody behind. Have I left anyone behind? You're following. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Victoria. Okay. So there are two things you need to learn if you don't take anything away today. There's what they call the market cycle, and there's what they call the business cycle. You're all engineers. I could have just left one picture here, but I decided to. Oh, Debo, do you want to ask a question, Debo? Wonderful. Okay. If you want to ask a question, feel free to stop me, but we've got more time for Q&A, question and answers. So the market cycle and the business cycle, this is psychology of the market cycle, while here is the psychology of the business cycle. Let me tell you what happens. Can you see the market cycle? This is, you got an expansion, there's a peak, there's a recession, and what happened? And it repeats, okay? While here, you got the psychology of the market cycle. There's a disbelief and hope, optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria, complacency, denial, panic, anger. Oh God. So why did I show you this? If you have somebody who wants to start a business, you're going to tell that person that, I'm sure you're not going to tell even your worst enemy to start a newspaper vendor. Why? Because the world is moved away from that. Do you think the world is going to move back to buying newspapers now? Or do you think the world is going to stick to iPad and iPhone and find other means, for example? What do you think? The latter or the former or the latter? Do you think the world is going to move to newspapers, or do you think the world is going to stay digital? What do you think, guys? Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. Well done. So that is what we call the business cycle, okay? What you notice about the business cycle is that it carries on. It doesn't stop. It carries on, okay? But the markets, okay, it carries on. It carries on. But when you look at the market cycle here, okay? Sorry, that's the business. That's the market cycle. But when you look at that's a business cycle. But when you look at the market cycle is here. People don't believe, and then onto the miss out. So the market cycle carries on. The business cycle, it repeats itself. It repeats itself. It repeats itself. For example, the stock markets right now, things are not really going that well. But eventually, at some point, the money will move into the big stocks, the big company, large caps. And at some point, the money is going to rotate into, they call it sector rotation. There will be a time whereby it's strictly just airlines, are just going to be surging. There will be a time whereby it's a small business, a low caps, it's going to be surging ahead. So that's the business cycle, okay? But the market cycle never repeats. If you think about it now we've got paper money, and I'm not saying the world will move into cryptocurrency fully, but if you think about 10 years ago. Cryptocurrency is just 13 years old. Nobody believes in it. Nobody accepts it. But guess what's happening right now? Institutional money is pouring into it. It's about $1.5 trillion right now in terms of size. Everybody's pouring money into that space. So, but if you think about it, at this point, people start thinking, you know, disbelief. I can't believe you're telling me we will be investing in a coin that you never see. How dare you? And then some people start having optimism, faith. Oh God, at this point, I'm going to miss out. I'm going to miss out. And at this point, they get angry. How dare you tell me I'm going to spend $200,000 for one Bitcoin? Oh, I should have done it, you know, when Benga was telling me to buy it for $5. Oh no. Okay. So that's something, that's the psychology. So you want to be careful. And I'm not saying buy everything you see out there. That's the cryptocurrency is going through that market cycle right now. If you do not believe in it, hopefully this preaches to you that I better do it. The stock market, we know that from time 200 years ago, that's been there. While the cryptocurrency, which is a new thing, please do not have that disbelief. Otherwise, you're going to miss out and you're going to have to wait for the next cycle. And this cycle takes years. If you think about before we move from barter to real money, in fact, from barter to gold to cowrie shells, whichever way around, to real money, it took a while. So this is our opportunity to transfer wealth to yourselves and your generations right now. Please do it. Again, so these are some examples from members of the Wealth Hackers community. This is actually one of my daughter's portfolio. This is her dividend, 2021. This is what she earned on a monthly basis. Okay, and you can see that's Apple right there. This is MasterCard below. So if you are using Apple and Apple is not paying you guys, you've got to start rethinking your strategy, please. Or MasterCard. I know all of you use MasterCard being in Nigeria. So guys, thanks for making me wealthy. Okay, I appreciate you and securing for my daughter's future. Thank you. Okay, this is cryptocurrency. Again, you don't just have to trade. People think, I haven't got the time. No, it's not all about trading. Buy, sell, buy, sell. No, this is, I intentionally left out the name of the coin just so as not to mislead anyone. It's here. I left it out. I deleted it. I downloaded it from Excel. Okay, and you can see the reference number. And this is how much they paid me today. Look at the date, 22nd. And if you add this up, it's about $80. Normally, it gives me about $100, $120 sometimes. But minimum I get is about $80 every day, guys. Every day. I could do a lot more. This is another one here, which paid me again yesterday, the 21st. So I get about $100 on in passive income from my cryptocurrency every day. Some of you think it's all about buy and sell. No. There's so many ways to get wealthy in this space. And I just put my example there. A few other examples from my community. These are some of my testimonials. I wish I could put the before there, excuse me. But some of these guys, they bought some stocks and they just sold them, okay? So this price appreciation, this is not dividend. I don't know why it says dividend, but it's price appreciation. They bought and they sold. So this is trading. You buy and you sell, you buy and you sell. Guys, all of us are traders at some point. If you have a job, you are trading your time for money. So you are a trader. You can tell me I'm not a trader. No, you are trading. You're trading your time for money. You are trading your time for information from me right now. So you are trading in a way. We are all traders, guys, okay? Okay, another one here is trading. Somebody traded, and this is the feedback. I mean, great compliment. I decided to rub out the name. If you know this logo, you probably know what the stock was. It said the stock market has been really depressing, but thank God for crypto. 100,000 investment in January is now 1 million naira. This was, I can't remember what month this was, but this was about March. Actually, I don't know why my assistants, didn't screenshot the dates, but yeah. But anyway, this is May anyway, so you can still see 1 million naira, even if you think it's a lie. This is still May, thank God. And there's a date here. I didn't put the dates. Okay, she invested 100,000 naira, got $1 million now, naira, not dollars. Another friend of mine, or another person in the mentoring club, it could only have been, they called me BK in the group, Wealth Hackers Training and Building Millionaires. Good morning. The person put it on her Instagram page. She invested on the 4th of 4th. In the last 30 days, it jumps, by 40% in the last 7 days. So, let me share my testimony. My money is small, but I got my husband to put in 4,000. It's turned to 10,000 for a sec, but now it's over $8,000. I spent $4,400 and it's now worth, so $440 now. So we have a world of testimony like that. People who are building wealth on a daily basis with me, of course. This is another one here. I'm trading this stock here. I don't know, I put dividend here again. I can't remember. This was a 20-minute trade, believe it or not. It's literally 20 minutes. And I remember this, I was actually literally in the toilet. I bought this worth and I sold it 5,209, literally 20 minutes later. So there's so many winning strategies. Don't try and time the market. Don't just wait on the market is low, okay? There's so many winning strategies, which is part of the things I do teach people. How do you review your portfolio? The fact that you have stocks, a portfolio, does not mean you're investing, okay? Not all stocks are good stocks. Not all coins are good coins in the crypto market. When do you take profit? When should you? Sometimes some people think, gone are the days of Warren Buffett where you just buy a stock and you leave it there for 10 years. Yeah, I'll go. No. You need to be able to take some profit. Sometimes some stocks are not great, or some coins are not great. Sometimes you need to be able to cut and move on to another one. And how do you construct a winning portfolio? This is part of the things I will be teaching people who, if you take my course, of course, or if you come to a mentoring club. So crypto basics is what I teach. Introduction to crypto, this NFT, decentralized finance. Some of you want to get a loan. You need to wait for the bank manager. You need to wait for one person. The market is getting decentralized right now, which means you don't have to wait for one fiscal authority. They call it smart contract. This is all what I'm going to be teaching you. So risk management, setting up the platform integration, how you can pick something for the future, how you can turn passive income, as you've seen, some technical analysis, fundamentals, etc. And of course, in the stock market, you can find this on my website as well. This is what I teach all along. Yeah, portfolio strategy, construction, dividend investing, analyzing stocks, picking or winning stocks, etc. Finally, we got there in the end. So this is where you can find me. This is my contact. Oh, why didn't I put my website there? Thewealthhackers.com is my website. Thewealthhackers.com, you find me there. And we've got a community of about 3,000 people there, as you can see right there. And just about 3,000. These are the different groups we've got. Some of their names, of course. This is the crypto room. This is the mentoring club for the stocks. This is just the general group. While here again is my alerts. Oh, this is my alerts channel. This is the general group. And of course, this is another group for people who are just starting with me or with us in the market. So we want to go slow, we want to go gently. So I've got rooms for everybody. And finally, these are my contact details. Yeah, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know how you see it. I live in the UK. That's my mobile number there. I've been here for 23 years. I've been using this number for 21 years as well. This is the Telegram group. Feel free to join us. That's my email. That's my mobile number. And then you can find me on Twitter as well, The Wealth Hacker. Okay, any question? Thank you. Any question?
All right, Mika, thank you very much.
I'm going 40 minutes. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you really 40 minutes. So we're going to open question and answer now. And since we have a controllable number on group, I'd like to, just open it up. If you have a question and you'd like to ask it via audio, you can get the chance to do that quickly. If otherwise, you can as well just leave your question on the chat and we will take it from there. But just a bit of, Benga, I'm going to put some disclaimer up here.
Absolutely, yeah.
So there are some common terms that I know are popular in the stock and crypto market. I'm a novice, so I'm not even pitching for anything, right? But I hear terms like do your own research.
Absolutely, I say that all the time.
So I just want to emphasize that here, that it's also important, even though we are here pitching, stock and crypto, we are emphasizing the need to do your own research. There's a disclaimer on WIG and NAPE. Benga is here to share his knowledge. Yours is to think about what the platform provides for you and then make a decision as a person to want to pursue it. As an organization, we also have an ask. But if you have to make this decision at a personal level, it will be a personal decision, please. I like when you mentioned around creating diverse portfolio. I would have really wished that we talked about the common things in Nigeria now, which is agro partnership as well. And then a lot of people are also in that space. You mentioned mutual fund, equity index fund. I know that's what they call ETS.
Yes.
And the crypto and stock, like you kept talking about. So exciting stuff, and I feel your excitement as well. How do we really generate wealth from all these things? I was just thinking when you talk about cyclical, what if I need the money when it's low? Then I'm not making any money at the end of the day.
You can sell straight away, instantly.
But I'll be selling at loss. So I'm just putting my thoughts here like feelers until we get the question in, you know. So that's one thought on my mind. The other thing on my mind would be around, how do you know what good stuff are? So you said I should not. One side you said, because I'm buying Apple does not justify that I should. Because I use an iPhone does not justify that I should buy an Apple stock. On another hand, you're saying such stocks are good. Look at the, you mentioned an acronym there, good quality stock. You know, so I'm trying to weigh those two things that you mentioned. It would be nice to have clarity on them.
So I would answer your first question. So you said if you buy right now, you'll be buying at a loss. Absolutely not. People say you should invest with the money you can afford to lose. In fact, I tell people, your friend that introduced me will tell you that I tell people that, no, do not invest with money you can afford to lose. Invest with the money you cannot afford to lose, which means I'm forcing you to perform some form of research. I've come across many Nigerians, and the first question they ask me is, what should I buy? And I tell them, no, buy my course. They're like, oh, really? I say, yeah, because you need to buy knowledge. What's the biggest asset you have? It's not I've got a 6-figure portfolio in crypto and in stocks, but my biggest investment is not that portfolio. It's my brain. I've got my journal here, which I tell people, this is my biggest investment. If anything happens to me right now, my daughter can pick this and she can understand how a father thinks and she can build it from scratch. So that's number one. So the biggest investment you can invest in is yourself. That's your assets. That's number one. Okay. I take this with me, right? I mean, I told you I'm an engineer, and now this is what I do. I was an engineer, chartered engineer at some point, but hey, I don't even use it. Nothing. So that's number one. Number two, if you say if you buy it, it's gonna go low. No. What if you buy at the right price? Yeah, you could choose to sell whenever. You could choose to hold it for 1 minute, or you choose to hold it for 1 year, or even 10 years. It's up to you. Totally up to you how long you want to hold it for. You don't have to be forced to, and people tend to think, oh, is someone going to be available to buy? No, you could sell it around back into the pool. You don't have to wait. Okay, I want to sell now. Are you going to buy from me? No. You don't need anybody's attention. You know, the world where we are right now is called permission marketing. Back in the days, I need permission to do this. But right now, I don't need anybody's permission to put content on YouTube, to create my wealth, to buy my assets. Everything you want is right there. Look. What do we do with this? We play Angry Birds with our mobile phone. This right here is your investment tool. It sets you free in the world. Not just, you could do so many things with it. Not playing Angry Birds, not just taking pictures that you can filter, okay?
I have a question.
Yeah, and then you mentioned agrotech. That I didn't talk much about it. I think the reason I didn't really talk much about it is what. Sorry, I'm going to answer that. Let you speak. Answer that next question. It's because I tend to frown heavily on, and I'm not saying do not invest in Nigeria. An investment whereby your base currency is back in Naira, I frown on it. I did a research since 1971. The Naira has only beaten the dollar 3 times since 1971. Just 3 times, okay? 3 times. What does that tell you? Why are you gonna pay me Naira back? at the end of the day. That's number one. Number two, you've been reading a lot about the scams going on. Number three, it's not even a regulated industry. I've got someone who's quite high up there in one of the insurance for these companies. Let me just keep the insurance company mute, which is why I don't favor it personally. I've seen a lot of my friends who get money every time. Fine, good for them. And you could have it diversified as part of your investment. I'm not saying do not do it, but you could just have it as one-off, part of it. But for me, I love to earn my money in the stable currency, forward-looking currency, because I tell people, especially Nigerians, if you are losing, which is when I force people to do their research, if you lose $1, you've lost 500 times more than me, because I'm earning in dollars and you earning in Naira. So you are forced to perform your research. Don't just gamble. I'm not here to chase anything, even though I'm earning in pounds. But it's just me trying to get people to be more engaged. That's why I teach people how to invest. I'm not going to invest it for you. You might take a lot of my time, but I think it's best that way. I've give you that knowledge and you can build wealth your way. I hope that answers your question, by the way.
Not really, but it's okay.
Not really, no.
I just wanted you to laugh a bit. No, you did. You answered my question. Thank you very much. Okay. I have a question. It says you forgot to mention converting, and I think you've answered it with this analogy of inflation. You forgot to mention, well, but not exactly. You forgot to mention converting coins to physical Naira for spending. It is not easy. So I have a coin, I've made money, I've sold. How do I change it back to Naira? I want to, regardless of inflation.
The first thing is, how do you even buy those coins? How about that? Considering Nigeria is saying, oh, we we live in Nigeria and we must pay Naira. How's it converting? Yeah, because some people say, oh, the cryptocurrency has been banned. It's not been banned. CBN say, oh, it's the future. Even the vice president of Nigeria said, oh, it's the future. Guys, there's what they call the peer-to-peer. I even did a free video. I am the first person, believe it or not, to do the video and put it on YouTube. I don't have the biggest views on it in terms of views, but I'm the first to put the video on YouTube. It's called peer-to-peer. There are people who've got some of these coins. You buy with Naira, send money to their bank accounts. You don't need to put crypto there. They always tell you, and they send you the coins in 15 minutes. They've got a deadline to do it. Within 15 minutes, they will send it to you. There's the platform where you use, which makes sure they do send it. They are forced. They will send it because the minute you pay them, they hold their coins in them. Even if they don't have it, they're not allowed to advertise what they don't have. So all these checks are done for you. Of course, scams tend to go on, but most of the time, I'll say 99.9% of the time, for me personally, I've sent over 50 million Naira. I've never experienced one scam. I've had 1 or 2 delays for about 4 hours, but other than that, everything's gone through. It was only a delay. I always get my money, okay? So that's one. So now how do you convert? You sell these coins, you get you sell it, you get in dollars, you sell it back to these people. It gets you back in dollars. And you could always sell your dollars online to get it back in Naira, whichever way you want it. So you could sell your coins back in Naira to these guys, or you could sell it in dollars to get paid. So in fact, everybody in my mentoring club, I tell them, some people say, show me their portfolio. And I told them, no, stop thinking in terms of Naira, start thinking in dollars. Always. I don't even talk Naira, even though I spend pounds here. But the more money that comes from my mouth is dollars for some reason, because I'm in that realm. So yeah, it's very easy. The platform is there, the system is there, very well designed. And when you have someone guiding you, yes. Is there a list of the courses as well? Yes, there is a price list. You actually find it on my website. The cost for the cryptocurrency is actually very cheap. That's only 30,000 Naira. The stock market itself is 60,000 because that's way more detailed. Okay, but the cryptocurrency is a two-day course, and I teach it on Zoom like this, and then you have a 1-month mentoring club access with that comes with it as well. So I teach you for 2 days, and I give you access to the mentoring club for a whole month. So you get mentoring club access with me, and we do it online. So I'm there. You're in the group. I'm teaching you almost every day. You don't have to be there every day, but that's the way we do it. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
I'm just checking in the group. Do we have any more questions for Inga, or we feel that it's exhausted? Inga, okay. I feel like you've not told us a lot of things, though. That's me, right?
Remember, what did I say?
Yeah, but
Somebody
if we
said,
have
could you?
questions or if you have questions, I can always help you push it to Benga. Benga, please, you're leaving this link open for us to
Yeah.
come back
So
to you.
I've got a
Right.
question open. So can I give more details on the course? How much does it cost? How long does it take? And what next after the course? Okay, I'll quickly talk about the course itself. Okay, so the course is, I've got a cryptocurrency course and I've got a stock market course. So this is a cryptocurrency course. The crypto course is a 2-day course on live. When I say 2 days, 90 minutes each time. I said 90 minutes, but it takes about 2 hours each time. This is not me telling you, go and read this. It's a demo. We are clicking this and then do this, then do that. You get access to the course replay for a month. Okay, that's the crypto course. It's a 2-day course. And then you get 1 month mentoring club access that comes with it. Okay, so that's number one. Then the stock market course. That one is only 60,000 naira. Guys, you guys are oil workers. Easy money for you, okay? That one is a 4-session course, by the way. So I do that 2 weekends, Saturday, Sunday, 4 sessions, each lasting about 90 minutes again. And each one is got, so the course has got a replay again on my website. I will give you a username and password sent to your email address. And you'll be able to listen to that for another, I think that one's a 3-month listen again. And also, you have access to the mentoring club for 1 month for free. It comes with it. That's a very, I mean, I decided to sell it for cheap last year, when the whole thing kicked off. And I thought, it's a space I saw and I thought, I'm going to make it cheap. And why don't I really do personal finance? I'm going to tell you the truth. I believe okay, what does the mentoring entail? Okay, I'm going to quickly talk about the mentoring in a minute. I believe that a monkey in a suit could teach personal finance. Save this amount, save this amount. I don't think it should be, I think a monkey in a suit should teach it. People say there's a very popular personal finance person out there. But people always say, oh yeah, you need to start with there and then you come to me as the promotion. My group is more of a market intelligence. I'm not just telling you what to do. We will hack the markets together, but you never find me where I say, oh, I don't know. I believe I will be able to answer 99.9% of your questions, sorry. I've been doing this for 16 years, investing, only as a business for about a year now, but I've been investing and trading the market for about 16 years. So that's one thing I'm going to tell you. You will make money. I will make you make money. You don't even have a choice. When people post the screenshots of how much money they're making, you will not have a choice than to just join them. Okay. The mentoring club involves, so I've got a system which I designed as well. It's a very simple Excel. I've got a spreadsheet of some stocks and coins and the entry price that you should buy them. Okay, I'm in the group as well. Every day I'm chatting, giving people the feedback, what to do, what not to do. People see a certain coin, it might look attractive, but I'm going to tell you, no, don't. So you get market insights. And in fact, I'm looking further ahead. When the market went down heavily, at some point I said to people, no, this is not even the time to buy it because I think it's still going to go down further based on experience. There's a popular celebrity who is in my club as well, mentoring club. And, she saw a stock actually yesterday and she said, oh, I need this. I've been making money from this stock. Guys, if you want to consider it. I said, no, this is not the kind of stock you want to keep too long because, for example, it's a bio stock. And what do biostocks have? They don't have anything other than their brain, okay? You oil companies, you have your facilities, your infrastructure, you can still sell that. But bio companies, they don't have anything. You could be in a little room like this and be making a lot of money as a bio company, okay? And that's the difference. So she thought, oh, okay, thanks for telling me that. So these are the kind of insights you will get. And there's a world, I can start talking today till next year and we'll still be scratching the surface.
Benga, there's a question that I will take differently, right? So we have a combo deal request for both courses, but it's not for 70. We are going to even try to negotiate for the lower.
What for lower?
For you to think about it. It's not very urgent, but it's something I would like to discuss. We came into this meeting also with one ask, which is if we were to start a wig. I'll leave that to Madam Doja. Is that my
Madam Doja?
I'll leave that to her, but I would like to take it more holistically, not from this one person's question.
So one thing I tell people, and this is not a bragging thing at all, I think I started the whole thing in Nigeria with the whole, stock market training and trading instead of me, because what I know Nigerians do is they take money from you, they want to do it for you, wishy-washy, they don't want to tell you what's happening behind the scene. So in my case, I'm not going to take your money, we will explore it together. I tend to do the odd portfolio review every now and then. And I tell people my time is not free, so people tend to pay me to review their portfolio, just to review the progress, see how far they've come. So we do that. And also, I will tell you, because naturally, I'm not a teacher, but I think before I came into this space, part-time, I still do it. I teach A-level physics, chemistry, and maths in my time. So people know me as, that teacher there. So I can tell you, you will not get a better teacher out there, not anywhere, not now, never. For now, anyway, I can tell you that for free. So when it comes to negotiating my price, factor that into think about those as well.
We're not negotiating in this room. No, we're not. Okay. All right. So there's an ask for your slides. I hope you'll be able to give us.
Absolutely. That's fine. I'll send it to you. That's not a problem for me. So one thing I just tell people, especially when it comes to investing, if you take all the money in the world right now, and if you share it equally among everybody in the world, guess who's still going to have the most money? Believe it or not, Jeff Bezos is still going to have the most money. Why? Because the money ends up in the same hands. And this is just a passing words for everybody. If you're not doing this right now, please do something. I'm not giving financial advice because I'm not telling you what to buy. I'm telling you to invest in yourself and invest in the market. Of course, it's up to you entirely if you choose to invest, but you should do it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Benga. So I'm just going to call on the president of NAPE, Mrs. Patricia Otobu, to help us thank Benga for the presentation he gave and ask for our request. I've heard Benga talk about reducing his fee further and all that. We have value for what you do. We appreciate the value that you bring into the game. And that's the kind of thing we also bring into the negotiation table. This don't want this to be a back and forth. Madam Doja has more information around the ask on the investment group. So I'll open up to her first before I open up to the Chogo to come and do the appreciation for you. Then we'll just take other announcements. Madam Doja, over to you. You're muted if you're speaking. Okay, now you're, yeah. Our audio seems to be off. We'll just give it some time, please.
Hi. Sorry, I totally apologize, but we're having a choir practice right now. So thank you so much for all I have learned so much. I ran out of writing space. And I'm sure that a lot of people are exactly in the same position. Those people who thought they knew a lot about investing, I'm sure we have learned a lot of other things. And for freshers like us, we've also learned a lot of things. So thank you for facilitating this to Boston. The question and answers were quite educative. You mentioned something about our desire to have an investment club. We would still like to talk to Mr. Onifade offline. I think that as part of empowerment, learning how to invest and generate wealth is also part of what we be supporting. So we don't want people to just wait for employment. We want to be able to generate wealth with whatever we have and become the employers of the future. And we've been told if you train a woman, you're training an entire generation. So we'd like to add club. And I know that you don't support mutual funds, but we can discuss the logistics offline. So Chubasu, just so that I can, do you mind if we do the, I see Mrs. Ochoku is online. If she would be okay to present the award to our speaker, our appreciation, our WIG appreciation to our speaker, if she doesn't mind.
I don't think she
mind.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam President.
Ready when you are, ma'am.
So first of all, I think now, good evening, everyone. Now that I have the mic, I will just do all my speaking at once. I want to express my personal appreciation to Mr. Benga Onifade, and also the appreciation of all NAPE members. I see both men and women on this call. Part of my charge, or part of NAPE's thinking for this time that we are in, is that we need to unlearn, relearn, and learn, because there are lots of things we thought we knew, but COVID came and showed us differently. So I want to thank you for this eye-opening talk. Also, I'm going to latch on to what the NAPE Publicity Secretary, Madam Tubosun, has said, and that would be that Mr. Onifade, you should please consider doing something special for NAPE. I believe that Madam Doja, the WIGE president, will follow up with you on that. If you looked at the question and answers, you see that I had a lot of questions. It's something I am personally interested in, and this is like a godsend in terms of the timing. So on behalf of NAPE, on behalf of WIGE, I would like to present this plaque, this virtual plaque, in commemoration of your valued work that you've done today as a speaker. I totally echo what Doja has said, and that is that when you educate a woman, you actually empower a nation. When you empower a woman, you empower generations. And WIGE is mostly for women in the geosciences and engineering. And thank you for empowering us. Look forward to what our future generations are going to do, because our children will learn at our feet. We will influence our husbands, our siblings, and everyone around us. Women share knowledge. Thank you so much. I am so grateful. Thank you. Back to you, Tubosun.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Onifade. We do appreciate your time. There will be a lot of offline conversations after this, but you can hear from the tone that we are really keen to take this a bit forward and consolidate for our group, especially in terms of personal finance and building wealth. So that's it. Thank you. If you don't mind, you can stay behind. I just have a few announcements to make, and then we'll call it close. We are 7 minutes past our time. Alrighty. So, ladies and gentlemen, WIG and NAPE members, our next activity to look out to in terms of WIG-focused events is actually June 2nd. We'll be talking about carbon capture and storage, but importantly, the role of earth sciences in the energy transition. When Madam Doja was speaking earlier, she talked about our theme, Empower, Go, Thrive, and these tentative events designed around it. A couple of them are firmed and even have been done. The International Women's Day webinar done. We had the machine learning, also collaboration with WIG. We are doing the personal finance here. We have the carbon capture and storage coming on June 2. And then we have training across digital productivity tools also planned for June. We are taking this also to our student body and thinking around mock interview session for university students, career day webinar, and of course at our conference in November, we will be having our very exceptional WIGE Summit, and it will be celebrating 10 years of WIG. That's something that you wouldn't want to miss out from. 10 years is, from suckling to a child that has emotions and senses, and that's where we are right now. So now WIG needs you, and we need you to really be active beyond attending the events that we put together. We'd like to take group photos now. Thank you, Benga, for staying behind. I don't know how convenient it will be for most people to put on their video. If it is fine for you to do that, recognize that this is Saturday, but please, we would really like that you do that. So we'll have a very nice video. So please put on your video. I will just do a simple snapshot. Thank you. Waiting. So can you help me do the sniping? I can't seem to see everybody on one screen.
Okay.
So at the count of 5, if we have all the videos on, we just take the pictures so we don't take longer time than necessary.
People should try and put up their videos.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, we need your faces at this time. If it is convenient, I guess I understand the challenge of putting it on if it's not very convenient. Can you spotlight Benga and take a snapshot of him while people are putting on?
Okay. Okay, it's done. Just a few of us.
Okay, so can I close my video?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Thank you, Benga.
Thank you, Ms. Onifade. That was really an exciting webinar. I'm sure you will hear from us sooner rather than later. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining this webinar. We are very pleased that you could join us. And Madam President, please pardon me for not recognizing your presence at the beginning. And thank you so much to everyone that was able to join us today. So we hope to see you on June 2, by the grace of God. Thank you and goodbye.
Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Benga.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, everyone. Benga, would you share the slide? Oh, it's gone. I'll catch him on his mobile. So thank you very much. Vicky, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.